Welcome again to Frostland Survivor Man. I am the Frost Man. It is a cold, rainy, overcast day here in northeast Wisconsin. It's about time we got some decent weather. Decent for those of us who like cold. I am the Frost Man after all. Today, Joey is not with me. Just a quick little video on something that I love to do when I have a significant amount of tomatoes from my garden, which I have this year. Said a number of times. Right here, you can see my tomatoes that I picked out of the garden this morning, and they are sitting on what is a wood filing or a steel filing cabinet. But this steel filing cabinet is actually my smoker. I converted this to a smoker. I'm going to show you how to build a smoker in a later video using an old fridge. They also work very well. Let me tell you this, okay? There is no Native American from any of the Chippewa family who ever had his phone attached to his smoker. The natives were the ones who did the smoking, taught the fur trappers how to do the smoking, and they brought it along with them. And smoked food is really quite delicious, and it was their way of preservation. So today, I'm going to smoke some tomatoes. Now, my mom and my Nana, they oven bake tomatoes to get them ready for processing. I'm going to smoke them because I want a little bit more of a smoky flavor, and I'm going to actually use them in a future video to show you what to do with smoked tomatoes. I have a great time doing this, and in a few minutes here, I'm going to take a few videos and show you exactly how I go about it. It's really not very difficult, and the product that you get out of it is really very enjoyable. So stand by, enjoy the video. Here we go. Smoked tomatoes.
Follow mom. Follow mom.
Our bags of solid frozen salmon. Welcome again to Frostland Survivor Man. I am the Frost Man. It is a cold, rainy, overcast day here in northeast Wisconsin. It's about time we got some decent weather. Decent for those of us who like cold. I am the Frost Man after all. Today, Joey is not with me. Just a quick little video on something that I love to do when I have a significant amount of tomatoes from my garden, which I have this year. Said a number of times. Right here, you can see my tomatoes that I picked out of the garden this morning, and they are sitting on what is a wood filing or a steel filing cabinet. But this steel filing cabinet is actually my smoker. I converted this to a smoker. I'm going to show you how to build a smoker in a later video using an old fridge. They also work very well. Let me tell you this, okay? There is no Native American from any of the Chippewa family who ever had his phone attached to his smoker. The natives were the ones who did the smoking, taught the fur trappers how to do the smoking, and they brought it along with them. And smoked food is really quite delicious, and it was their way of preservation. So today, I'm going to smoke some tomatoes. Now, my mom and my Nana, they oven bake tomatoes to get them ready for processing. I'm going to smoke them because I want a little bit more of a smoky flavor, and I'm going to actually use them in a future video to show you what to do with smoked tomatoes. I have a great time doing this, and in a few minutes here, I'm going to take a few videos and show you exactly how I go about it. It's really not very difficult, and the product that you get out of it is really very enjoyable. So stand by, enjoy the video. Here we go. Smoked tomatoes. I picked these tomatoes, and they're all different varieties. There are 3, maybe even 4 different varieties of tomatoes in here. Picked them this morning. Now, when I put them in the smoker, this is an important thing to do with them. I do need to cover them, but I want the smoke to be able to get under the foil. So I don't want them sealed in here. I do want them covered in here so I don't get drippings, the creosote drippings on the tomatoes. So there they are. Here's the smoker drawer, and it's pretty obvious the last thing that was in here was salmon. Oh, that smoker smells so good. So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put the maters in with one hand. Then I'm going to put the foil on with one hand, just to protect those maters from this very thing right here. Creosote that falls off the top of the smoker when you get the fire going. We don't want them getting in the tomatoes because we want all that smoky, juicy flavor for sauce. So buckle this on here a little bit, just so that the smoke, when it starts streaming through there, can't take it off. All right, we close that up. And in the bottom, so it's a 4-drawer steel cabinet, filing cabinet. In the bottom is our firebox. So we're gonna go get some firewood and light the fire. In the world of Frostland Survivor Man, you're gonna see me light a fire many, 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 many times. My preferred method is with white birch bark. Some type of dry softwood. Dry balsam twigs, dry spruce twigs work great. The one thing I will tell you to not do when you light your fire in your smoker, never, never, never use Girl Scout. And what do I mean when I say Girl Scout? I mean any type of liquid accelerant, any type of gasoline, any type of lighter fluid. Your smoker will take on the flavor of whatever you use to light the fire. You do not want to use any type of accelerant, not even bacon grease. So we're going to let this, I've got these dry chunks of cedar, we're going to let those get going, and then we're going to add some hardwood. One of my teaching methods that I've used for years, how do you know when a fire is going to burn? When it starts to crackle. When you hear it crackling, that means she's ready to go. So I've got my ash here that, this brown ash, we're kind of swimming in this in northeast Wisconsin. Stack that up real nice. And what I want to do is I want to get this fire burning good and hot before I close the drawer. I also want all of that white birch bark to have burnt off. Because as you saw when I lit it, right when I lit it, you can see the black smoke that comes from it. And it's going to be toxic in there. That's what we don't want. What we want what we want is a small amount of heat with a large amount of smoke. That's what we're after. We now have some good fire. That ash is burning nicely. It's burning hot. We don't want it to burn too much. We want to keep it at a very great minimum, but we do want the heat. So we're ready now to close the drawer. So now all that heat and smoke climbs up to the top, seeps out right there, and it's cooking those maters in there. Back in the wood shop here, just a few quick notes on smoking. So there's questions that I get all the time. I'm going to try and answer those. The first one is, what kind of wood do you use? You can use any hardwood, any unimproved hardwood. What do I mean by that? Well, you don't want to use anything that's treated. Please never use pressure treated lumber, like that's used for building decks. You can tell because it kind of has a green hue to it. It's always pine. Never, never, never smoke anything. As a matter of fact, never even burn that stuff. Just avoid it. Second thing, you want to use pine or spruce or any softwoods, like I used cedar today, to get your fire going. The reason is it burns hot and it burns fast. The quicker you can burn it, the quicker you can heat it. Okay, what is the fire triangle? Heat, fuel, oxygen. Open the drawer, we have all the oxygen we need. I have fuel in the dry pine, dry cedar that I used today, and it heats up very quickly with that white birch bark. So it gets going very fast. That's the goal of it. Then we want it to burn hot, but burn slow. That's where we put the hardwood in. So today I used ash. Use what you know, and the best way to know that it isn't treated is you cut it yourself, okay? You took a limb off a tree, a maple tree in your yard. Everybody knows what a maple leaf looks like. You took a limb off a tree in somebody else's yard. Somebody pruned their apple trees. I save all my apple prunings that are an inch or bigger for smoking later, and I use them for if I'm going to smoke something soft, like smoke a cheese, for instance. The most important thing about smoking is it takes time. Don't get your fire too big. Keep your fire small, keep your heat small, take a longer time, and you're better off. And I have a good friend, Ojibwe guy, lives in Ontario. He was probably the best fish smoker I have ever met in my life. And he used to make these things that he called fish leathers. He made them out of smoked whitefish fillets, and he slit them on the sides, and he just laid them out in his smoker. And all he had was a 50-gallon steel drum that he had a grate inside of, and he put a lid on it. That was his smoker. And those fish leathers were probably the most delicious way to eat fish ever. A smoked salmon is very delicious. A nice brown sugar smoked salmon. You get a whatever type of cracker you like. I like Bretton's with this. Cream cheese, a little bit of that smoked salmon, and a few capers. Absolutely delicious. I've told you before, I don't necessarily like to cook, but I sure do love to eat. So it's enjoyable to do this. I'm going to show you the tomatoes as we get going. We're going to leave those tomatoes in there, and we're going to keep going with these smoked tomatoes, and then I'm going to use them for a meal later on. Time to check the firebox. We got no smoke coming out. There's still plenty of heat there. Oh yeah, still plenty of heat. Very nice. So we're going to put some more of this ash in there. I want that to sustain the fire. Oh, grabbed a few leaves. And these are some of the applewood chunks that I save from when I prune my apple trees. Nice big hunks of very dry applewood. Should be able to get decent fire going from those. You can see the smoke coming off there. It won't be long, this will catch and fire right up again. So we're going to leave the drawer open until we get some combustion, and then we'll close the drawer again. Would you like to see the maters? Well, maybe not yet. Got this fire cooking. Took a little longer than I wanted it to, but it's finally going. So we're going to shut that up and let it smoke for a while. As soon as you close this, the fire goes from being a combustion fire like this, where it's really shooting a lot of flames, to more of a deeper seated coal fire, which is what we want. It burns very slow for a longer period of time. So that's how we want it. And we'll just slide the drawer shut. And there it is, that wonderful smoke that we need to make our smoked tomatoes. So the smoker is smoking, all right? And let's just get a quick look at these maters, see how they look. And see, it's kind of smoked in here. Oh yeah, look at that. Very, very nice. Very nice. They're certainly getting there. They're certainly getting smoked. And we're actually going to roll this back just a little bit in order to get a little bit more smoke in there. And you can see the creosote on top of here that we don't want on the mater. Well, it is now the next morning, and we're back out, as you can plainly see, in front of the smoker. It's bright and sunny. I'm trying to not get my shadow in the way. There we go. And we're going to pull this top drawer and see what our maters look like. Now, something that I did want to mention that I forgot to mention yesterday. One of the big benefits of this filing cabinet is that it locks. It's got these locks on the side here. And the first time I smoked salmon in this new smoker, I came out and there were raccoon prints all over it. They couldn't get in the drawer. And if you know anything about raccoons, they can get in just about anywhere they want to go. So these locking drawers are a great benefit. And there they are, our beautiful smoked tomatoes. We're going to take those in the house and we're going to make them into our cabbage roll sauce. Boy, they look good. We have our beautiful smoked maters, and this is one of the big benefits of them. the skins come right off. So we're gonna peel these, put them in the pot and get them simmering over medium heat. Get them ready to make into sauce. Oh, that smells good. Sauce is doing good. We need to add our spices. So we're going to put in a very little bit of basil, salt and pepper. The fresh ground stuff seems just to be better. And garlic. So put in some garlic powder here. And we'll stir that in and let it simmer.